Well, thank you, Chair Klobuchar. I have enjoyed this hearing. Thank you for your leadership. It's been good working with you and your entire team with the Rules Administration Committee. And certainly want to thank Ranking Member Blunt and Portman and all of the members who came here together today to work in a bipartisan way to ask tough questions and to get answers. I want to thank Captain Mendoza for sharing her experiences. Certainly a very powerful way to start this hearing. But I truly appreciate each of the witnesses that were here today who came here today willingly and knew you would be asked tough questions, and you were willing to do that, and certainly we appreciate you for that effort. And while this hearing certainly shed some new light and offered some new information on what happened to the lead-up as well as to the response to the January 6th attack on our Capitol, it's also raised a number of additional questions that need to be asked. For the past 2 years, I've been working to draw attention to the rise of domestic terrorism, and specifically violence driven by white supremacists. We have only seen the threat of this violence grow, not just from white supremacists, but also from anti-government groups and people who have been swept up by conspiracy theories and just simple outright lies. The events of January 6th and the answers that we heard today only further highlight a grave national security threat that our current Homeland Security apparatus is clearly not fully equipped to address. Our national security agencies were overhauled and they were forged in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. And they're basically built around responding to foreign terrorist attacks. And they have been slow to adapt to this evolving threat of domestic terrorism that we have seen in the last few years. The Homeland Security Committee was created to oversee reforms to fix the intelligence failures that led to 9/11. And now I intend to ensure that this committee oversees efforts to fix the failures that led to the January 6th attack. There's no question our federal counterterrorism resources are not focused on effectively addressing the growing and deadly domestic terror threat. The January 6th attack marked a once-in-a-lifetime failure, and now we have the duty to ensure that the federal government is doing everything in its power to make sure another attack like this never happens again. We must align our counterterrorism resources and our intelligence gathering efforts to ensure we're focused on this dire threat. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the National Counterterrorism Center right now are 8 months late on a report to assess the threat posed by domestic terrorism. And we're going to continue to push them to complete this report as soon as possible so that we can take meaningful action. There's no question in my mind that there was a failure to take this threat more seriously, despite widespread social media content and public reporting that indicated violence was extremely likely. The federal government must start taking these online threats seriously to ensure they don't cross into the real-world violence. I also plan to keep the pressure up on social media companies to work harder to ensure that their platforms are not used as a tool to organize violence. So this investigation does not end here today, and I look forward to our next hearing where we will continue to seek answers to important questions that were raised today and others that need to be answered.